So we're discussing now how we manage to control these buttons here so that only one of them is shown at a time. So let's go back to design mode right now, and if we go to the stop button here and then go look at our client-side show hide expression, you can see that we have a JavaScript function called show stop. So if this function returns true, then this button will be shown, and if this function returns false, then this button will be hidden. And then for the go button, we have another JavaScript function called show start, which is the exact opposite basically. If this button is if this function is true, then this button here will be shown, and if this function is false, then this button will be hidden. So now if we actually were to go and look at the JavaScript for show stop and show start, let's go look at it right now, and let's go to the top here. So what show stop does is it first goes and calls the underbar tab info method, which we discussed previously, which gets information about the tab object. And one of the properties that is retrieved by this tab info method is something called status, which is either on or off. If status is on, that means that the timer is on and we're automatically advancing from one tab to the other. So if you're currently on, which means that the timer is advancing the panes automatically, then under those conditions you would like to show the stop button, otherwise you'd like to hide the stop button. So if object.status is equal to on, then we return true, otherwise we return false. So now for show start, it's the exact opposite. If the tab object is currently paused, then we would like to show the start button, so therefore we return true, otherwise we return false. So these two functions control the display of the tab object, but the watch event handlers in Alpha 5 don't automatically watch the condition of the tab object. So even though when I switch now from the on state to the off state, the tab object state has changed, the watch expression that has been generated isn't watching that state information automatically. So therefore, in order to make the buttons hide and show, when we click the buttons, when we click this button over here, you can see here that we've also added a call to this method over here, which is refresh client-side computation. So this method, which you can see here in the list, you can see here basically it fires all client-side calculations. So by calling this, I force the show hide events to recalculate themselves. So and this in fact causes the button to either hide or show. So you can see that when we stop the when we click this button over here, we're going to stop the tab from advancing automatically, and then when we refresh client-side calculations, the button will in fact hide itself, and then the go button will become enabled. And then when we click on the go button, we start the timer, and then we go to the next tab, and then we recompute all client-side computations, which then causes this button to get hidden and this button to show. Then the final thing that I'd like to point out is, in order to have the two buttons appear on top of each other when they're shown or hidden, we've gone and we've set the horizontal spacer between these two buttons to 0 inches. So by default the horizontal spacer has 0.1 inches between controls, but now for this button here we've set it to 0, which means that when this button here is displayed and this one is hidden, they're on top of each other, and so there's no jumping around visually. So let's pause now and pick this up in the next video.